What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? I'm using a new mic, so if you would tell me what it's like, if it's too high or too low, that way I'll know. Please and thank you. Get this sent out real quick. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There it is. Let's try that. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Like I said, I got a different mic. It's a shotgun mic. I've got to get a stand for it. It was just a last minute idea that I got from a guy that does YouTube videos, and he says that he uses a shotgun mic. I think that's what's going to work for me because I can point it directly at me and it'll pick me up, as opposed to like this big mic sitting right here. Maybe I can get an arm that's just pointing directly at me, a mount I should say, and that way it'll clear up some of the space. But just let me know what the sound sounds like, if it's too high or too low. I'm watching the readings right now and it's still in green. I got it on 10 dBs. I figured that was good. We'll see how it is. Still got to get a little bit better lighting. Get going from there. But the main video is about building stuff anyway, so there's that. Let's see what we got here. Which ones have we got left? 11. Now last time I picked up 9 instead of 6, so there was that. But now we're going to go back to the actual 6. I just got done watching the Unaware Atelier. You guys know my channel, you know I like anime, but it was the Unaware Atelier. It's a pretty good little show. I've been going through this kick here lately where I really like dub voices. So what ends up happening is I end up picking shows based on some of the dub voices, and I'll get it on Crunchyroll just because I like to hear them talk. It's a good story too, but I just thought it was funny they ended up doing that. I like the voices on those, and I like the voices on the Country Bumpkin. The Country Bumpkin that gets a job at the, what is it called? May have to search it. from Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. That's what it was. That one's a good show too. I like some of the dub voices in that. Mike is good. Okay, good. That was my main issue. Was this old microphone right here? It's just not good for what I'm trying to do. So there's that. It's been a good mic though. I wish I could figure out a way to change out this stand part, but I think the whole thing is just so more convenient if I just get another one. Okay, let's see what we got here. Remember last time, if you watched my other video, I was building the wrong thing. I was like, where are the parts at? But it's all good. There is no mistakes. There's only happy accidents. So how your guys weekend been? Mine's been kind of hectic. My kids went to the pool. I kind of just let them go because I like going to the pool, but it's so many people, and I feel like I'm stuck. Like I really don't like being in a place where it feels like I can't just leave when I want to. And when I'm with a family like that, I can't. I'm kind of obligated to stay for an hour or two, and if you're not gonna leave me alone and let me kind of just bask in the sun or whatever and do my own thing, if you're just like gonna be like women do and just sit there, I'm just gonna leave. And it's super funny because she'll even talk about it too. She'll be like, "Well, there he goes," and it's funny how like females will see that there's a problem, but they don't fix the problem. They just point out the fact that it's happening. Isn't that funny? Kind of like almost like a solipsism where everything is happening to them. Kind of like that. I was like trying to read how this piece is supposed to go in here. And I was like, how? What are you talking about, buddy? Oh, I see. That's clever. Look at these clever little guys. They're just over here building stuff out of nothing. Tell you what. Some. Oh, okay. People really do have imaginations, man. You don't see that anymore, that's for sure. Nerds! I don't want to raise my voice too high because I got that mic. I don't want to be like, nerds, and scream. Speaking of nerds, like, Mike is bad just like you. Okay, good. You're so bad. You're so bad. Is that how bad I am? You're so bad. But funny, it's funny that I'm pointing out nerds. So that new Lilo and Stitch movie came out, right? And everybody's talking about how bad it is, but they're not talking about it. It's bad for the same reasons that everybody else is talking about it's bad. Like that you would think they were saying it was bad. They're saying it's bad because they changed the story. And it's like, okay, you changed the story, whatever. But they changed some of the things that you shouldn't change, because here's my deal. When these directors come in and make movies, they don't care. Like, they really don't care about anything that came before it. They sit there and go, let me leech off of this and let me leech off of that. Let me pull from this and pull from that licensed material and make my own movie. That's what they want to do. That's all they care about doing. I want to put my name on something that is not the same and move on. And people haven't figured that out yet, but they're telling you that that's what they're doing. Like, they're literally, the way they're acting is telling you, and that goes with people not being able to tell body language, but and what people are saying, but they're sitting there telling you that that they want to do that. They don't care, and people keep falling for it over and over again. And it's like, if you would read between the lines, you would know they do not care. They do not care that you grew up on Lilo and Stitch. They also grew up on Lilo and Stitch, but they like fame and they like paychecks. And they like all the clout and gravitas that comes with, I worked on a Disney movie. And got stuck in there. Get in there. Come on, baby. All I wanted was you. But yeah, that's all they care about. And people go into these movies wanting to watch them, thinking, "Oh, they're gonna take all of my childhood." Like, it's a covert contract, basically, that you have with these movie studios. I have a covert contract in my mind that they're gonna make exactly the movie that I want them to make. It's an emergency. Yeah, the reason I did it as an emergency is because that's the set of blocks here. They all make like construction vehicles, and when I looked it up, it was like emergency city project Mecha. So I was like, okay, whatever. Yes, it is an emergency. It's emergency endorphin. I need more emergency endorphins for the week. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm saying. But do you know what I'm saying, though? Yes, but I appreciate you continuing to check in with me. All I wanted was you. Now, how are you supposed to put that? Oh, this is clever. So they got you holding this together. But yeah, anyway, long story short about the Lilo and Stitch thing, they don't care about your childhood dreams, and they don't care about the covert contract that you've made in your mind with them. They care about money and fame. Because you can hear in the interview the director had about the Lilo and Stitch movie, he's like, we felt this was the way to go, and I totally back it up, and I still stand behind it. Okay, they don't care. Moving on. They don't care. Get your money, moving on. That's why you guys need to stop going and seeing these movies in the theater. They're trying to trick you into this nostalgia of bringing movie theaters back. We're going to start these $40 popcorn buckets. All this stuff to get you to go back. We're back to the grassroots of movies. That's what we're trying to do. It's the same, like they're Republicans all over again. They're just Republicans all over again. And you guys keep falling for it. Hook, line, and center. Because you want to believe. You want to buy into the fantasy that somebody is trying to do something good. And they're not. They're not. And they're not. This thing's got 5 stickers on it. Ooh-wee. They stickering this bad boy. They said we do one thing and one thing only, and that's put stickers on stuff. Welcome to the candy shop. Licky licky lollipop. Baby, don't you stop. Oh, and also, if your name is Homath on the internet, you don't get women. Just saying. I don't know where that come from, but I just felt like I need to tell you guys. Put my little stickers on. Got my little stickers. That is the right one, ain't it? Yeah, it looks like the right one. I may have took the stickers off of something else by accident. Put the little fenders on here. Don't want you to get offended without no fenders. These really are pretty cool, guys. I just don't know what I want to do with everything because I'm building all this stuff and I'm running. I've already run out of shelf space. I still have all these other kits put together, so it's not like I'm in a panic or anything. But you know, I'm kind of thinking about what I'm going to do. Can people be in a panic without being in a panic? Like, can you be in a semi-panic? Put these little stickers on here. But the reason I brought up the Lilo and Stitch thing is because it kind of goes back what we've been saying in our little social circles for a while, is that nerd culture has kind of ruined things for other people, because it used to be normal people that like this kind of stuff, and now it's all weirdos. It's all low T weirdos. So you'll have the occasional like regular guy that likes this sort of things, and everybody thinks something's wrong with him because everybody else involved with it for the past 15 years has been weird. So it kind of ruins it ruins it for everybody else. You can't like Star Wars, you can't like Lord of the Rings, you can't like Star Trek, you can't like anime, you can't like Warhammer 40k, you can't like Dungeons and Dragons unless you're a weirdo neckbeard Bowen shirt wearing Mickey Mouse ear hat having weirdo. And you guys can thank nerd culture for that. They're the ones that welcome that trope. They kind of like the nerds kind of brought that brought that in by getting called nerds and stuff, and then they're looking at us, the regular guys, going, they called us nerds, and we're both going, not us, they called you a nerd because you're a nerd. They didn't call me a nerd because I eat steak and walk 30 minutes a day. Not you though, right? You can't walk because you have a condition. And your mama says you can't walk. That's pretty cool. Whoopsie. Just knocked the bucket off my tractor. That's pretty cool. All right, let's put the bucket back on there. All right. Look at that little guy. He's ready to bulldoze some stuff. Look at that. Pretty cool. Get a little side view of him. Number 7. Alright, we're 22 minutes in. We're doing good. I'm also going to try to start putting these on Substack. I don't know too much about Substack. I just got the app today. But they said there's money in it, so here I am. Because as much as I like doing this, I need the money for these things. So, there's that. Is this the forklift? It looks like the forklift. Yeah, it's a little 3-wheel forklift. Cool. They got the wide 4-wheel version too, but I like the 3-wheel version. That's the ones that I used to drive, was the big forklifts. There was 4-wheel versions too. I drove those too, but they had 3-wheel versions. They had 4-wheel versions. The big boys. They kept saying that they were going to get us new ones at my old job, and they never did. They also tried to tell me that changing the brakes on it cost $16,000. I was like, well, it doesn't really matter to me how much it costs because you gotta put brakes on it. So you're telling me it costs a lot of money. It sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. That'd be like me going to my kids and be like, garbage bags have gone up. There's such heavy prices, blah, blah, blah. My kids would be like, okay, we need garbage bags. So, you know, can't throw our trash out in the yard. So, whatever, Dad. Bounce when she walk. Bounce when she walk. Bounce when she walk. Oh, doing it like this. Ba, 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 The mic seems to be working really good because I'm looking at the levels and it's hitting right on. Pretty good for a cheap little shotgun mic. Now it's gonna mess up though because I said that. And my voice carries, but not as far as it needs to. So it's good to have a good quality mic. I'm more of a low, deep speaker than anything. Except when I get excited on coffee, then I'm like, meh, 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 meh. The people that work with me in the morning love it. We love that you're so talkative early in the morning, said nobody. Okay, this piece. But getting back to the subject of anime, which is something I like to talk about. What are you guys most looking forward to? Like, what are y'all waiting on to come out? Because I know for me it's Solo Leveling. We're not gonna get it for like another 2 years. I'm like, but Dan to Dan is one that I really like. Yeah, Dan to Dan is one I really like. And what gets on my nerves about Dan to Dan is we understand that there's certain things in the show. Okay, we understand that. But it's part of the show. I'm talking about the essay stuff they have on there. Essay type stuff. They say it's essay and it's like nothing even happened. Like the alien was going to do something, the ghost was going to do something, she got saved. That used to be in every hero show. You guys are gotten soft, is what it is. How many Conan and Barbarian shows were exactly that way every single time? And people really have. People got really soft. And they hadn't got so much soft, they got to the point where they're getting validated for pointing things out. So it's like, let me point this thing out and get offended at it for nothing, for attention. Because I'm the one that pointed it out. Nerd. Everybody wants to be the first one to get offended. Oh, do I already have 320 subs? Sweet. Sweet. Yeah, I'm thinking about going to Substack too. Putting these on Substack. I don't know anything about it, but like I said, give me your money. We needs it. Needs it. Alright, so how does it want me to put this on here? Oh, I see. You know, when you're looking at something on here and you're trying to figure out the angle, you're like, how is it wanting me to turn this, to put this Lego on? My computer must be running heavy today because it's got that fan going. OBS, just like OBS that I'm using to connect to YouTube, really uses a lot of juice. I always notice that every time I use OBS, the computer's like, Okay, little fender. Get on there. Click. There we go. I'll tell you an anime that I like right now that's actually kind of too short sometimes is Lazarus. I really like that show. It's pretty good. I hope it doesn't turn into another Pantheon or whatever, though, where by the end of the show you're like, what is this even saying? Because that's what happened to that show. They try to be too smart, and it backfired on them because nobody wants to hear all that gobbledygook. You can tell a very complex story in a simple way. People just don't know how to do it. Like if you watch that movie Northman, it's a complex story. I was never confused. The whole movie, I was never confused. And some people are like, oh, it's a simple story. It's a simple story. No, you think it was a simple story because it was told in a very simple way. That's called good storytelling. There was actually a lot going on in that story. It's the closest thing to a live action Vinland Saga that I've ever seen. Easy, easy. Put these little pieces together here. But how you guys doing? Y'all have a pretty good week? I did. I just worked a lot. These stickers look bigger on the paper. So I put them on there. I was like, I don't know if these are going to fit. Rick and Morty came back on. I'm kind of like not really worried about that show at this point. It was really good the first few seasons, and then that guy got in trouble. The writer got in trouble, so they like changed it up, and it's just not the same. Like, I understand you don't really want to quit the show, but if that's how you're going to play it, you might want to. It's turning into this really preachy mess. Hopefully the new season isn't like that. Rick and Morty's still going? Yeah. I don't know if it's exclusively on Amazon, but I know that's the thing that advertised it to me. Yeah, it's still going. They're not going to quit that train until it's left the station, man. They're going to milk that for everything it's worth. I watched. I've watched pretty much the whole show. My favorite episode is still Pickle Rick. Like he literally did that whole crazy life-threatening adventure just so he wouldn't have to go to the therapist, and I'm with him on that. I'm with him. Feel like that was a good investment. I would rather turn myself into a pickle than go to therapy. Exactly. I would rather fight a rat to the death than go to therapy because it doesn't work. Therapy, like, I feel bad for people that think therapy is there to help you. It is not there to help you. They're not there to cure you. They're there to keep you in the churn, baby. Because if you're healed, you don't need to go anymore. The only way to start making therapy work is if you hired more men to deal with men, and then if you stop paying them um, by appointment, and then what's going to happen is it's going to be all women again. Like it's going to be even more overwhelmingly all women because women will be the only ones that will put up with not getting paid anything. Which is all psychology, which can be told with psychology to the people that's running therapy. They know what they're doing. There was a good show on for a while called Evil, and I actually really liked that show. And then it got canceled. It didn't really get canceled. It got wrapped up. Like they said, hey, we're gonna end the show, so the people run it. Y'all got to finish up the story before. So it's like they got canceled, but they didn't. I guess you just say they got canceled for lack of a better word, but so they had to rush some stuff. But I really liked it, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because they kind of talk about therapy and psychology and all that kind of stuff on there. And it's funny how they started making the villains in every show the one that makes sense every time. Oh, forklift, pretty cool, ain't it? I like the three wheels. I've drove many of them like that. I'm gonna mute this for just a second while I go get another drink. I'm back. So, moving on to the steamroller. Yeah, I'm trying not to spend a lot of money right now because we're getting ready to go on a trip pretty soon. So I'm not buying as many blocks and everything as I was. It's called being an adult. And at the same time, I'm looking at shelving because I'm running out of space. I'm kind of trying to decide if I want to keep all this stuff or if I just want to build it and then basically just give it to my kids like I was talking about before. Because I'm running out of space, you know. So I'm going back and forth about that. My youngest, he'll definitely be into it, but my other two kids, they're more into sports than anything, which is not a bad thing. But they're just full on can't sit still kids, and their interest in stuff like this is almost zero. But the youngest one, he's going to be a little mini me because everything Dad does is amazing. Mic could be a little bit louder. Okay, let's turn it up some. What about that right there? That's a little louder. Is that good? I'm also kind of mumbling, so you could just tell me to be louder. All I wanted was you. Put it right there. How about that? That's pretty loud. Okay. All I wanted was you. Speaking of louder, maybe my AirPods aren't good. Well, I'm turning it down on the mixer part. Maybe. How about that? Is that louder? Turn it right there. How about that? That's like almost hitting yellow right there. So we'll see about that. What I'll do, let me mute it for just a second. I'll turn it this all the way up right here and let it roll like that. And then I'll go into settings on the mic. advanced auto settings. Yeah, so it went back. It went back to 100 probably because I changed the microphone. So we'll change that. To like 120. How about that? Does that change it for you? Testing, testing, 1, 2. Let's see what that's like. Mute this again. That seemed pretty loud right there. We'll leave it. That's like 120. That seems anymore. It's gonna start crackling. But now I know. See, it's all about. This is the first time using this mic, so it's all about getting those settings just right. Because I'm not one of those dudes that's got like all these things going on. I don't have like a studio and all that. Blah blah blah. It's just me, man. And hey, I appreciate you telling me if something's wrong. You always tell me, hey, this sounds like crap. You know what I mean? So I'll know. Because you'll be making videos and then you go back one day and listen to them. You're like, why didn't anybody tell me the audio was this bad? Because they didn't care. All right. Steamroller construction's moving right along. I've still been eyeballing that Lego set that's coming out soon. It's Ninjago, and I don't even really like Ninjago. I don't care about all that. I'm an adult. But it's that Ninjago set that has like the big red robot and then the dragon. And they've kind of changed the way they're building them now. And it legit is pretty cool. It's like a Jaeger suit or something, you know. How is life in North Alabama? It's pretty cool. It's about like anywhere. I say that, but it's not. It's better. The reason I say it's pretty good compared to a lot of stuff is you don't have as many issues like you do in some of these other towns. So you don't have to worry about as much silly stuff. Like, we don't have time to be privileged about stuff. We got to make money. We don't have time to be offended by things. We have to make money. And every now and then you'll get those people that slip in and try to start stuff, and everybody just kind of laughs it off. And I'm telling you, some of the main people starting that stuff is women. It really is. What's the demographics where I live? White. That's it. It's pretty diverse here. It's probably at 85, 15. So you'll have certain areas that are like heavy another demographic because they all kind of just bundle up and live the same place. Usually it's section 8 housing. Not trying to make fun, that's literally what it is. But for the most part, it's going to be the same demographic. I've got to, like, now 2 houses down, there are some Hispanic families. So you'll have that. But I lost the lottery and was born in the black belt. Oh man, that's funny. I've noticed that there's difference in demographics in area you would never think of too. Like some of these areas they tell you, hey, that's mostly that demographic, that's mostly that demographic. I'm like, what? What do you mean? And then you come to find out that's where they put a lot of the Section 8 housing. So of course that's where they moved in. Hispanic people, they mainly they'll do some of that housing too, but they around here they mainly buy places because they have so much untaxed, revenue. They can. That's pretty cool. So now they want to put cap on this side. Okay. Pretty cool, pretty cool. That's so funny. I lost the lottery. How do they want you to do that? Oh, I see. That's clever. I keep seeing these little things that they're doing on these designs. I'm like, that's clever. That's clever. I don't like some of these designs though because it'll have you securing something by like one block, so it's not very secure. If I ever get up that way without the family, I'll have to buy you a beer. Yeah, you will. Just jump on your motorcycle and go, man. um I had a funny encounter yesterday. I don't know if I should tell this because they might end up watching the video, but I doubt they will. We're 56 minutes in. They won't be watching that much. But I had a funny encounter with some people that we know that their kids are on our kids' baseball team. That's how we kind of got associated with them. My wife already knew everybody because she's a hairdresser and she has like, you want to find out some stuff, date a hairdresser. You want to know what people think of you in the neighborhood, date a hairdresser. But anyway, so I ride up in my motorcycle. That's all it took, man. Homeboy's wife would not shut up about it. And I'm like, awkward. Awkward. Uh, then she started talking about she liked my sweatpants. She wanted my sweatpants I was wearing. Then it went on to, yeah, he's been talking about he wants a motorcycle and we need to hurry up and get one, blah, blah, so we go riding together and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, lady, I'm not interested in you, okay? What was she saying? Just, she kept making these little snarky remarks, you know, and I'm trying to think of it. It was very female, very passive aggressive, and then she started talking about my physical things about me physically. Like I took my hat off. She's like, I didn't know you were bald. And then she's like, this right here, and she's like, you know, I really like your sweatpants, and you know, so and so really needs to get back in the gym. And he's like, yeah, I need to get in the gym. I asked where you were at, and they said you were at the gym, and I was like, yeah, I need to get back in there. And I was like, chick is making him hella insecure right now. Like she needs to stop. She's making him so insecure right now. Leave this man alone. And you say she wants a Viking daddy. Here's the thing about those type of women. It's almost like if they could, they would, but she knows that she's too messy for that. So we're gonna make like overt comments and stuff without making them because we're messy, and we're gonna imagine them in our head because we're messy, and make our man insecure, and probably get in an argument that afternoon about something, but not actually do it. The women that do that kind of stuff, they'll make comments, but they'll make comments alone. Or they'll make comments when nobody's paying attention, you know. She wants attention from the group so bad that it makes her too messy to actually get away with stuff, I think is what's going on. If that makes sense. But when she was saying that stuff, you know how I am, guys. Like I know what all this stuff means. I know about covert and overt communication, the way women are with each other, and I'm just like, dude, you do not have frame. All right, do I want to build this forklift, or do I want to build what's this one right here? It's only got some of them listed. Do I want to build the forklift or the other type of backhoe? There's another type of backhoe right here. Okay, so that's not it. It is a, what is that? A road header, or what looks to be some kind of double bladed digger thing. We're gonna do the double bladed digger thing. That looks pretty cool. Let's do that one. That's another thing. Women really like men that can make decisions like that on a snap. I'm like that to a fault. And sometimes it really makes her mad. Oh man. Because she'll be like, hey, so we're going out Friday night or Saturday night to see the Dolphins. And Friday night for $20 more, you can see the fireworks. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, well, you didn't let me finish Saturday. It's, we could do the fireworks for $20 more on Friday night, or for Saturday night we can go to it without the fireworks. And I'm like, without the fireworks. And then she gets kind of mad because I'm like, done, talking about it. And I didn't give her enough time to get her emotions in it. Oh man, you kind of want to go, hey, talk about it with yourself a little bit, and then when you're ready, I'll come back in the room and you can talk to me about it, and then I can give you my decision then. It's like you want to do that instead. I say that, but if I said that to her, she would probably be like, okay. I'm also one of those guys too that, yeah, why I ask? Because she wanted me to give the answer that she wanted me to give. It's all manipulation. It's all manipulation. She didn't want me to give my answer. She wanted me to give her answer coming out of my mouth. That's manipulation 101 right there. And they wonder why they can't raise boys by themselves. Because you raise them on stuff like that. These covert contract double bind questions. And then the boy walks around like this for the rest of his life, worried he's going to answer something wrong. And men can do that to them too. You have to be really careful, because I have to be really careful with my boys when I'm talking to them, because sometimes I'll ask them a question, I already know the answer to it, and you didn't give me the answer I wanted, so I'm mad. When really and truly what I should say is, I already know the answer to this question, but I want to hear you say it, so I'm going to ask you again, did you or did you not take this and break it? And let them just kind of go, uh-huh. But what I'll do is, hey, so I noticed when I went out to the so-and-so that my tool or whatever was taken and it's now broken. Did you do that? No. And then we had to go around this whole rigmarole where it's like I already knew. If you just told me, it would have been faster. You know what I mean? But it's because I'm trying to give them a chance to be a man about it, and they're not, because they're kids and they act like kids and they put themselves preservation first. Really, they're being pretty masculine, by not answering the question because they don't want to. I love when they do these little adjustable settings on these things where when you attach it, it kind of has that thing when it goes up and down. It locks it into place in the movement that you pick. I love that. I got my kid an RC car. I hadn't seen it in a while. He's probably broken it. I get those Temu specials. Like this, where all this come from. And so they'll be like, hey, you got so much more free stuff because you've been buying free stuff, or you've been buying stuff. So here's a bunch of these things for cheap. And so I'll be like, hey, if I buy one more thing, I get free shipping. And I'll buy like him a remote control car. And I'll see it for about 3 weeks and then it'll be gone. After this, I'm going to have to go outside and put new calipers on my lady's car. I put new tires and brakes on, and now it's starting to do that thing when you're stopping. So the only thing I can think of is it's getting a lot more grip with the new brakes and tires. So that's the only thing I can think of to be the last thing that I fix on it. Which once again is a man thing to do. And have you seen a video of a helicopter pilot saving a kid's airplane out of the tree? That's pretty funny. Major point for that guy. Guys, RC airplane out of a tree. It's pretty good. That's pretty cool. I like watching those helicopter videos where they do those rescues on the side of mountains and stuff, and they get that helicopter right up against the side of the mountain. Like you'll have the mountain right here, and you'll have that helicopter, and he'll just come in sideways like this right here, and just get right up against it to where the foot's touching. And then they get on there, and he'll fly off. That's pretty cool. You're talking about skill. Because if he messes up, they're dead. Like there's no... He hits one thing with that propeller, it's gone. You don't get a redo on that kind of stuff. Oh, that's pretty clever. So you're putting that on there. I gotcha. You got these cool little blades. Sweet. Okay. We got this. Just click, man. Let me pull the whole thing apart trying to get this to stick on here. Jeez. It says yellow, but this is a black piece. Oh, that's because I did this wrong. Whoopsie. I've also been watching. I posted on my Twitter earlier, but I've been watching Mobland. I like that show, but at the same time, I don't because you gotta watch that show. Basically, what kind of gets on my nerves about that show is the wife is like controlling the mob boss husband a lot in the show, and I think that's kind of the point of the show, is that she's going to end up ruining everything for everybody because she's got ulterior motives. But at the same time, it's annoying. Look at this little guy. One of them little blades. It's pretty cool. Little thing moves. It's adjustable. Pretty sweet. Oh, so this is the one I kind of like because this has got the front bucket and the back bucket. So I saw how people do. Who's in that show? Oh, Tom Hardy and Pierce Brosnan and that old white-haired lady that was in Red, where they were all like retired hitmen. She was also in the Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. I think she was Shaw's mom. She's in it, so there's a lot of semi bigger actors and actresses in that show. Especially for, it's because it's kind of a British show. It's filmed in Britain. You can tell it's London. It feels like an American show, though. It feels like an American show filmed in London, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel so much like you're watching a British show like some shows are, even though it's kind of a British show. Because some shows you'll be watching, this is British. Like, let's say Doctor Who. Doctor Who is a British show. There ain't no getting around that. Maybe it's the cinematography. I don't know. But the show's good. Tom Hardy's knocking it out of the park. But his wife is annoying. The daughter's annoying. The mobster's wife is annoying. Tom Hardy's ex-lover is annoying. They're all annoying. but it's one of the only shows that I can sit there and watch right now besides anime. And it's funny too because it was suggested to me by a woman. She's like, "You need to watch this. It's really good." And Tom Hardy's in it, and I love him. I pretty much like Tom Hardy and everything he's in. Also, he's really into sneakers. I didn't know that. And there's that show where they walk into that store and all the shoes are saran wrapped or vacuum sealed, I should say. And you go in there and buy them. It's like really expensive shoes, and you can find like old classic shoes that people used to wear in there. But he was in there telling a story about how when he was younger, he had he has big feet and small legs, so he would run into the issue of how to fix that. He said he would actually wear two pairs of jogger pants, like one over the other, to make his legs look bigger. And I was like, wow, I never even thought of that. And then he would buy these shoes, these certain kind of shoes. They're like Fila somethings, kind of boots, because he had really, really big feet and those little legs. It was funny hearing him tell that. It's interesting to me sometimes when people do that kind of thing. I like to hear those kind of stories like, oh, I never even would have thought of that. And who knows if it's even true, it could have happened to somebody else and he just said it was him, but it's a funny story either way. I'm getting really sketchy about listening to celebrities now. Like, they lie so much that it's getting hard to listen to them tell stories without going, did that really happen or did he just make that up? Especially when it comes to the actors that get fit for roles and how they say that they got in shape for the roles. I'm like, you're lying. And what it is they're fooling people that don't know, because they know that most people that watch movies nowadays are nerds that don't know anything. He would wear more than one shirt. It makes sense. It makes sense that people wear, multi-layer clothes like that. I didn't even think to do that kind of thing, because living in Alabama, it's so hot that you didn't want to wear the clothes you were wearing. And growing up poor, that was something too. You didn't want to wear all your clothes the first couple of days and not have any clothes. You ever catch yourself about to do something really dumb? That's what I just did. Well, that thing is stuck on there. Yeah, hot, exactly. Yeah. I ain't about all that. Mm-mm. But when he was talking about those shoes over there, Tom Hardy. Something else was funny too that you would assume, but you wouldn't think about is that they had to think about when they bought their shoes if they would last in the weather. I was like, oh, because of all the rain and stuff. He said that they would get wore out very quickly with all the wetness and moisture. And then you quickly become an expert in that kind of thing because then I was watching later on. I was watching I didn't give a F either. Yeah, you ain't giving a F when it's that hot outside. You wearing whatever. But it's funny how quickly dudes will become like an expert in things because after listening to him talk about that kind of stuff with the moisture and all that kind of stuff in the shoes, I was watching a movie later on that was filmed in Carpathia, supposedly, and it looked very muggy there, and then turned into snowy. I was like, "Yeah, you gotta have proper shoes there. They'll get wore out quickly with all that moisture." Like I knew what I was talking about. Dang. What was on there? Some of these blocks do get very secure. And they don't come off once you put them on. All right. Moving right along with this thing. Oh, they're using these little pieces. You know what I'm going to say? How clever. That's going to be my new catchphrase on here. How clever. Because everybody needs their own thing. Some people quit because their wife told them to. Some people say, how clever. Okay. Is that all the stickers? I think so. All right, there she is. The little bulldozer with a backhoe on it. Yep, that's how we get the work done right there with our little backhoe. Gotta get our work done today. You got the front end loader and the backhoe going. Gonna be a hard day today. We gotta get started early. But what I've noticed, what these guys will do with these boxes is, and I never thought about doing this. They will take these boxes and they'll undo them and flatten them out, and then they'll stick them in folders. And they'll have like all these boxes put up, you know, for each thing they built, all categorized and put up. I would never have thought to do that. That's pretty clever. That's nerdy and dorkish, but pretty clever. That way you don't have like a bunch of boxes stacked up. You've got them all broke down inside of like a little folder. Like I would see that and go, that's pretty cool, nerd. Now I got a bunch of these little things, so they keep giving them to me, these little block separators. Maybe I can do like some people do and build stuff with them. But that's all for today, peoples. Got all my little guys built here. My little construction crew's ready. Now I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with them. But there they are. And if you like this videos, let me know. If you're kids and you're watching these videos because you like Legos, I apologize for the language and whatnot, but that's why it's not marketed to kids on my videos. So if you happen to click on this and you are a kid, I hope you like the Legos. And I'm going to do a lot more of them. And we're going to talk about stuff while we're doing it. You know, it's just the way we are. I did finish gluing my my dreadnought together, so now I've got him all done. I had to glue the feet together because the little toes wouldn't stay on, so I had to glue those. But that's the dreadnought. If you've seen my videos earlier, I've made that before. Got the flamethrower, got the chainsaw flamethrower, and the big cannon. Pretty cool. You can see it a little bit better in this camera. Pretty cool, huh? But hope you guys liked the video. Let me know what you think about the audio. Let me know what you think about the video. I've got lots of other ones to build. I got a Shelby Cobra, another Batmobile. I still got that Ninjago looking thing, like the White Tiger. I even have a model kit here that I still need to build. I got this because it was based off a GM, and the GMs are one of my favorites from the Gundam series. You see that GM Spartan? It looks like some kind of mass production unit for the military, but it was green and cool, so I liked it. We'll see how it does. I think it's funny that they were able to call it a GM Spartan, considering it's not technically Gundam, licensed Gundam. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you like and subscribe to see more videos. I tend to do them every weekend. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Adios.